The negative press from especially the Western world, it's not new. It has been there for the last 27 years, really, since 94, I remember. There is no way I can change easily how someone wants to see me or sees me from their own perspective. Sometimes they must be looking at us through the lenses of their own, where they come from. What we do in Rwanda, and what we've tried to do for so many years now, is really our business. We think what we do is our business before it becomes somebody else's business. And we do it for ourselves, and we try to do it the best way we can, because we are the ones who benefit from it or lose from that if we do wrong things. From the outside, the Western media and others, well, even sometimes the politicians from there, they really think they are entitled to present us as they want us to be, not as we want ourselves to be. So they always make that judgment of saying, what is he doing? But what is he doing? What is he doing about this, about that? Is from how they would do them in their own place. Or sometimes, in fact, not consistent. Sometimes they may criticize you for doing what they do just because they think you are actually not entitled to doing that. You can't do that. That's not for you. It's for us. So there is this back and forth that goes on forever. So in order not to be distracted and keep answering yourself on everything or being dragged to think like other people think and not think for yourselves about what we should be thinking and doing, you just concentrate on understanding what your problem is and trying to do the best you can to address it. Because we are not supposed to be people just answering to others all the time, or framing our lives and our thinking just along the lines set by others. No, that's not for me. That's not for Rwandans. I think that's if there is any notion that the African story has to be shaped from outside, it's what the outside tells us to do that you do. I will say, no, that's not correct. I will say, at least the minimum, we should talk about it. You see, you give me a chance to interact with you on what you think is good for me. That is the minimum. And that is different from saying, no, don't talk to me, don't say anything to me. Leave me alone to my African context as I explain it, as I think it is. Because in the end, we don't think about that the same way, even as Africans. So there has got always to be that back and forth. It's like, no, give me a moment. If you are from outside and you say, no, you should be doing this, you do this. I say, no, but this is Africa. You are from somewhere else. And I know, I'm conscious that the African story is this meeting point of the Africa itself, as it has always been, and has been evolving, but also with the interaction with the rest of the world, because there is not going to be that without that interaction. The African context, if properly defined and described, has nothing wrong with it. If you take care of all of these needs and parameters that have to be driving our politics and our development and that context. So to the African Union, therefore, African Union is a structure that is in place that brings together Africa, through which we can bring these ideas or grievances or, any misunderstandings or different ideas we don't agree on, and try and narrow the gaps that are there and see if we can make a... So that's why people sometimes are in or out and saying this or saying that, or when it happens to a problem and say, oh, African Union needs to intervene, some people, the Africans themselves may be uncomfortable and say, oh, I don't, because then you realize there is something wrong, because why would you be afraid of the African institution getting involved? It's that trying to run away from, being able to come up front and explain what you are doing and say there's nothing wrong. So in other words, you are just fearing accountability or being held accountable, and that's why you are avoiding it. Otherwise, and if anything, if the institution of the African Union was going to do something and something wrong, there are also ways of checking it and say, no. These structures that is supposed to be serving all of us is not actually serving all of us, has gone astray. Then there is somebody to come up and say, no. We can check that excess if there is. But there can be excess with the country or with the institution. So, but voices should come up and say what they want to say about correcting something. But the African context is there and exists and should be actually strengthened. I really find it problematic in that interaction that somebody believes they have the right and the power and everything to say something about you and even be consequential about that, and when you cannot say anything about them. You see, that is, I would not mind if you would come to me and say, this is wrong, please, you must change. I say, okay, then I look at it. But you should accept that at one time, if you are doing anything wrong, I should be able to point out and say, hey, please, what is going on? I always hear people talking about God, right? And when they are talking about God, it's like God is good for all of us, right? I don't think God would have made one part of the world more important than the other part.
I'm a king, yes, I'm a king, I think I'm a king,